Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of True Talk Podcast. Here we talk all things holistic health, autoimmune awareness, and motivation to living your truth, be your authentic self, follow your dreams, and live that life that you dream of and that you deserve, honestly. I'm your host, Jenna. And today I am going to be doing it by myself. The past two episodes, I've had incredible guests. I'm going to keep having more guests. But this episode, I wanted to talk about some stuff that I've learned along the way of my journey. And I kind of want to be that big sis advice. So without further ado, we're going to get started. So, 5 invaluable lessons that I have learned along my journey. If you've followed me for a long time, then you know that I've battled some sort of autoimmune disease for about 3 years, and I am finally completely healed. Literally, as soon as the 3-year mark hit, I was healed. No symptoms. Very, very, very rarely do I have a slight tremor in my hand or something like that. Most of the time, though, I'm 100%. I'm not only am I back to normal, but I am the healthiest version of myself that I've ever been. So, to start off, the first lesson is that everything happens for a reason. This is something I definitely already knew and lived my life by this, knowing that God works in amazing and just incredible ways. So to not ever really question what he is doing. However, with everything that I went through symptom wise and losing my ability to write, my ability to speak without a tremor, people couldn't understand me. The blurred vision, that stuff really kicked me down and I started to doubt. And there was a small period of time where I was just so confused and so alone. And I would literally look up and I'm like, God, why me? Why me? What did I do to deserve this? I thought I was a good person. I thought I'd do everything I'm supposed to do, and school and work and my family and my parents and all of that. And you really start to kind of like beat down on yourself. I don't know if any of you have ever felt that way. But when I started to let go and let God, I put all my faith and trust in Him, and I had to switch my mindset. So it's not something that's easy by any means. It's not something that's going to happen overnight in a snap of the fingers. It's not. But is something that you can practice. If you're listening to me right now and you're like, Jenna, I don't think I can do that. You can. You just have to practice on the way you word things, the way you speak about yourself, the way you speak about certain situations. So when it came to me and my story, I, for a long time, was like, why me? Why do I have to have these symptoms? Why? And then I started to stop myself. Like when I would start saying those things, I would stop myself. And I would be like, all right, hold on a second. I have this going on. I have these tremors in my hands. That's fine. What are ways that I can still do things a different way. Things that I used to do. So, like writing things down, okay, it was more difficult. I wasn't able to do that. So, let's type everything. So, there were ways around it. And it wasn't necessarily that I was accepting and just becoming complacent with what was happening and being okay that I had these now symptoms. It was more so of the fact that I was like, whatever, I have these, I've got to continue to live. Like, I am only doing myself a disservice if I'm going to sit here and let these symptoms take over my life and take over my everyday activities. When you switch your mindset, then you start thinking, okay, what is it that I'm supposed to learn from this? Why am I being given this challenge? Why am I having to go through this trial? Those who know me know that I tried to be a very positive, be uplifting, always smiling, always laughing type of person. And it's true, I am. So when I would get a lot of people that would tell me you're handling this so well and you always have a smile on your face no matter what you're going through. It was like a light bulb that went off in my head. It was almost like, I know this doesn't sound right, but it's almost like that thing that they tell you where it's like love at first sight, or when you find your person, it's when you know, like you'll see them and you'll know and you'll feel it. It was kind of like that. This a light bulb went off in my mind, and I was like, this is why you gave this to me, and you being God. Okay, you want me to show people that no matter what the difficulty is, what the challenge is in life, nothing is worth losing your positivity, your happiness, or anything like that. There's so much more to life than to sit there and be like, woe is me, and just go down this negative rabbit hole. You will come out on top if you believe that you will. Like it's just that mindset switch that you have to have. Um, and that's kind of what happened with me. So it really hit me where I was like, yeah, everything happens for a reason. Everything. I ended up leaving my job without a plan of knowing what I was going to do next. And that scared me because all my life I've always had, if not one, at least three jobs. Call me crazy, but it's just how I am. Like, I like to be busy, I like to work. So when I left, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like, I don't have a job. What am I going to do insurance wise? All that kind of stuff. And then I did some soul searching and realized, okay, I'm an independent person. I like to lead people. I am a natural born leader. And so I should start my own business. What's that business going to be? Well, sharing my story in social media and being creative with that. I'm like, I'm going to be a social media manager and do that for clients. And then photography also. And I was like, I used to love, love, love drawing. It was my outlet. And with the hand tremors, I kind of got discouraged not being able to draw the way I used to. Taking pictures is another creative outlet for me. So I really found stuff that I enjoy doing, and I can sit there and say, I love what I do. And I'm a nanny part time. I watch the two most best cutest kids ever, and I love this life that I'm living right now. And know for a fact that I am where I am meant to be, and it's all because everything happened the way it was supposed to happen when it was supposed to happen. Everything happens for a reason, whether you know the reason or you don't. Just trust that it's supposed to happen, and it will lead you to where you're supposed to be. Trust me. You're going to go through the peaks and valleys of it, and that's normal. That's a life. But trust me when I tell you, you are going to be so much happier on the other side of it when you come out on top and you're like, wow, yeah, this was supposed to happen. This happened for a reason. I'm so happy that it did. So, second lesson that I have learned is life is so short, but so beautiful. So beautiful. Once again, I don't know if these are really lessons like how you're in school and you're being taught a lesson. It's more so ways of life and mindsets, I guess, that I've really been able to live by and have really stood out to me throughout this journey. But regardless, the second one is that life is short, but it is so, so beautiful. I know for a fact all y'all have heard the saying, I'm here for a good time, not for a long time. And it's true. What's the point in living every day and being miserable or being upset over some small fight that you had with either your significant other or a family member or a friend, and you're just carrying that out, and then you grow this animosity with that person, and it's just not worth it. And it really hit me hard with everything that I was going through. I have been public about this before, but there were 2 times that I was in a very low place to where I almost took my life. And I realized that that was not the answer. And it wasn't what was going to save me. It wasn't going to help. It wasn't going to do anything. The only thing it was going to do would have caused way more pain and trauma to myself, to my family and friends. And so coming out of that dark place to where I really leaned into my faith. And I know I'm very faith-based right now in this conversation. And you can believe in whoever and whatever you believe. I believe in God and Jesus Christ. So I really leaned into my faith to pull me out and save me. And he did, along with my guardian angels, along with the saints and everything. And so it made me realize life is short, but it's so beautiful. If you take the time to just go outside and without your phone, go outside on a beautiful day and you just close your eyes and you hyper fixate on all the sounds around you. And I'm talking like it can be near a playground. It doesn't have to be somewhere quiet. Just outside your house. You'll hear the laughter of kids, the crying of kids. You'll hear conversations between people. You'll hear the birds chirping. You'll hear the wind. If there's wind or if there's a breeze, you'll hear the cars, you'll hear phones ringing. You hear all these noises that to us, it's just like it becomes background noise and it's just second nature that you kind of block it all out. But if you think about it, it's a life. It's signs of real life. During the time of my journey, it was when the world shut down with COVID and everyone was scared to be around each other. There was so much unknown. And so I feel like a lot of people realize that we were taking for granted the little things, like being able to give someone a hug, being able to see someone smile without having a mask covering their face, just seeing and hearing. And it's like that saying, stop and smell the flowers. Seriously, when you're walking, just stop and smell the flowers. Tying this back to my journey, I was upset and I was frustrated that I couldn't write the same, I couldn't talk, I was having these tremors, all this kind of stuff. And I had to give myself these reality checks where I'm like, you know what, Jenna? You're lucky. You're blessed. At least you still have your limbs. Like, I know that might be an extreme, but it's true. Like, I'm sitting here complaining about my hand shaking. There's people that lose their arms. It's that concept of it could be worse. So be grateful for where you are and what you have, because shit, it can be taken from you in an instant. And that's kind of what happened with me. Tremors came out of nowhere, and the ability to write was just kind of like taken, or the ability to speak was just kind of poof. It was more difficult overnight, and you start to think to yourself and you're like, wow, okay, like I need to show more gratitude and realize how blessed I really am. And so yeah, that lesson of life might be short, but it's so beautiful, and this earth has so much to show and to give. And I want to be able, and I am able to take all of that beauty in, and all of the phenomenons of the world, and the interactions with new people and meeting new people and hearing their stories. It's incredible. It's incredible. And I am so, so grateful. So that's one of the lessons that really hits home in so many ways. And I am just so grateful, beyond grateful, that I am here and I am able to witness and be a part of this life. Third lesson is that quality is much more important than quantity. And this is something where I've always known, once again, but it really it hits when you go through something. And it's, people hear it all the time, that you see who your true friends are when you see who stands by your side through not only the good but the bad too. The people who are going to call you up on a random Tuesday evening and be like, hey, how are you? What's new? And I get it. We're all busy. Trust me. I totally get it. I'm busier than I've ever been before. But to those people that I hold very close to my heart and I would do absolutely anything for, I'll be that person to call or text you and be like, just saying hi. I just want to say hi. So you really see that as you grow up. I think that's one of the growing pains, like growing lessons, to where you realize that the quality of your friendship is so much more important than sitting there saying, oh yeah, I have 102 best friends. If you have just one best friend, you hold them close to you and never let them go. I have my inner circle that I can trust with my life, and I wouldn't change that for the absolute world. So just keep that in the back of your mind that quality is much, much more important and goes way further than quantity. And if you haven't seen it yet, trust me, you probably will, and it's okay. It also goes back to, God brings people in our life sometimes for a reason, not a season. And you just it'll come to you. You got to trust your intuition, those aspects and those instances. Fourth lesson is you are so much stronger than you think. I don't want to hear anyone say, "Oh, but Jenna, I can't, I'm not that strong." No, bullshit. Guys, if you would have told me, 5 years ago, Jenna, you are going to have your whole world flipped upside down. You're going to have tremors. You're going to blur vision in one eye. You are going to have to get a spinal tap. You're going to have to get MRIs, blood work. You're going to have to go through a treatment called plasma exchange. You're going to have to be on medication for the rest of your life via infusion. I literally would have looked at you and I would have been like, I know you're not talking to me, because there's no way. I'm a wuss when it comes to pain. Like, I have the lowest pain tolerance. There's no way I can sit there and be poked and prodded like that constantly. Guys, when push comes to shove and shit's hitting the fan, you will be so surprised at your strength that you have. You can push yourself further than you might think that you can, like to where your limit is. You can push yourself even way further than that. Trust me. When you want something so bad, and in my case, I wanted to be normal again, I wanted to feel normal again. I was willing to go through and do whatever I had to do, whatever tests, whatever therapy, anything that would possibly help me, that I thought might help me. And looking back at it, I'm like, oh my God, I did all that. I went through all that. And I'm not even talking about only the physical strength, I'm talking emotional and mental strength too. Because in your mind, if you're alone with your thoughts, I know a lot of you might be able to relate to this. When you're alone with your thoughts, that can sometimes be the absolute most terrifying place to be. We are our own worst enemy. We can be our own hardest critic, and that's just the way the mind works sometimes. You are so much stronger than you think to be able to shut that off. If you ask me, that's the little devil on the other shoulder that's like, yeah, you're worthless. You can do it. No, you gotta brush that little sucker off of you, and you listen to the angel that's telling you to give yourself grace and be patient and just trust that everything is going to work out. Sure, there's times where you'll listen to the guy on the one side, but you literally have to say it out loud, like I have before. No, you are not welcome here. I am a positive person, and I think of only the best that will happen to me and for me. And it will. But you have to believe that deep in your soul. I'm telling you guys, self-reflection, it's not something that's going to be a smooth ride. And you might feel weird sometimes, but like, really sit there and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, wow, okay, I am who I want to be. I am proud of myself. And okay, I'm going through this challenge right now, but I know it's teaching me something that I'm supposed to learn. And I'm going to come out on the other side of it knowing so much more, being so much wiser and stronger. And so true. And it goes back to my other lesson of life is so beautiful. Like, we every day are learning. You are constantly learning. So never, ever, ever, ever doubt your strength. You are so much stronger than you think you are. Trust me on that. Last but not least, and I think this might be the most important one just because of what I stand for and what I believe in, because of everything I've been through. You are in control of your life and your body. You are in control. You are running that ship. So when it comes to, we'll just use the health world, for example, and you know what? I'm not even gonna make up a scenario. I'm gonna use myself on this. When it came to that world of the unknown and not sure what was gonna happen or what I was going through, and all I could see was that I was getting worse and worse being on a medication, I really got that mindset to where I was like, you know what? No, I'm in control of my life and my body. And if I want to get better, I am going to get better. Come hell or high water, I am going to figure out what's going to work for me. And this isn't working, so I'm getting the hell out of it. And I'll go do the holistic therapy. I'll go do it. I'll take the vitamins. I'll change my diet. I'll do whatever it takes. But guys, believe me when I tell you, you are in complete control of how your life is and your body. You can tell yourself, tell doctors, be it whatever, that you deserve respect. Absolutely. Every human being deserves respect. But it also has to first come from a place of self-respect. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, there was a while in my life that I definitely lost respect for myself. I wasn't respecting my body. I wasn't respecting my emotions. And going through all of this, I've come to find my respect for myself again, and I built that back up again. I run my life and my body, and that's that. Period. All right, guys. So I know that this episode was a little different with it just being me and speaking about these lessons that I've learned that I really think are invaluable. And it's the way that I am living my life now. And I could not be happier. I feel healthier, safer, just all around a better person. But these are things that you don't have to buy. You don't go and buy these lessons or for someone to teach them to you in a book. I mean, yeah, there might be books that say these things and that's wonderful, but sometimes it might take for you to go through something to really feel it and understand all the 5 things that I listed today. So, with all of that being said, I hope that you guys are able to take something from today's episode. Let me know if you like these things, the big sis advice. I'm always open to sharing more of my story, sharing what I've learned, kind of how I've gotten to this mindset, and even the challenges that I've been through to be able to get here. Like I said, it hasn't always been a smooth road. It's definitely been bumpy. There are peaks and valleys, but that's life. And just remember that it is so beautiful. And there is always, always light at the end of the tunnel. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you have an incredible week. And thank you so much for continuing to follow along with True Talk. Please go like, subscribe, follow the podcast, follow on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And go follow me on Instagram to see more of what's to come and become part of the True Crew. There's so much more exciting and fun things coming, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So keep laughing, keep living, keep smiling, keep going, guys. You got this. Trust me, I believe in you. My love to you all.